Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Astara and I'm an angelic communicator and clairvoyant. And I want to talk to you today about something that's, I guess I've been working on my whole life. Like, if you know anything about my story, I had a very intense experience when I was 13 where I developed panic attacks and began a very intense journey into understanding myself as a consciousness, as a soul, as a being. And I figured that everybody else was that way. But then I'm beginning to see, as I got older, that not everybody thinks that way, that a lot of people are in the mind matrix and not many people are awake. But star seeds, there are many of us here on the planet and many of us waking up as well. I want to talk to you about something that's come into my awareness, which is something that I do most days and I have done since I was very young. But it took a long time to have an impact on my world, and there are reasons why that was tricky or took a long time. So I've been meditating, consciously meditating since I was about 13 because it helped me find some peace and solace in my body when I was going through an intense time. So that meditation practice evolved into many different meditation practices, just so you know. But essentially, now I speak with my guides in the divine realm, and I also have awareness in my consciousness over my own consciousness. I do a lot of shadow work. I also look at my own feminine, look at my own masculine. There are lots of different levels to this. But essentially, what I want to talk about today is how every decision we are making, every thought that we're conscious of, every feeling that we can be conscious of, is giving us a very vital piece of information. And that information is telling us what our consciousness is creating, what our consciousness is creating in our reality, and what our consciousness is also wanting to create. So you might find, if you are more in a conditioned egoic place, for example, I must do this because the world wants me to do it this way. I must do this because I want to achieve this. This is a conditioned response. And what we've got to be careful of here is that our conditioning that comes from the outside and place on us, like a sort of a structure, like a set of rules, like a way you have to be in the world, is not telling you inside in a negative way, like what you want to create in your life. Because your impulse for creation needs to come from your inner self, your soul, your heart, the depth of who you are, meaning the places in you that want to create the kind of life that will make you really happy, that will make you happy, that will make your community happy, your family happy, everybody who's online, with the idea of you having a deep sense of self and connection to your heart and who you are and your love for yourself and the divine love all around us, is going to want you to come into alignment with this. Now, when people talk about alignment, that's what I'm guessing they mean, that I'm completely in alignment with my higher self, my inner needs, and my higher self, my divine process, the pattern that I am designed from innately, that is a divine pattern that wants to play out in my life. Now, this is in often contradiction to the patterns that we're conditioned into, the patterns that tell us do things this way, do things that way, and do not allow your original creative ability to come through. Now, hopefully, I haven't lost a lot of you here, but I will do lots of YouTubes on this because it's a very important thing to learn if we can grasp it, and it will take time. But I'm seeing in star seeds who are very much like myself, who incarnated into this life and found themselves faced with a truth that they could really just be who they are, and they could come in with their soul frequency and create what they needed in life. Coming into the matrix, facing the reality that actually there's a huge amount of conditioning that goes on in this life that will try and fix you into a form and a shape that you don't feel comfortable with. And that form and shape can also, already be here in the way that your ancestry, your DNA has been shaped as well. So one of the trickinesses for star seeds is you're coming in and you're having to recreate the shape and the form or in yourself, and then you're having to express yourself out into the world. I will do another video on that as well. This is complex stuff. So I'm just telling you through my learned experience, through my embodied experience, everything that I do in this life is embodied experience. I don't read it in a book to say, no, nobody tells me this stuff. I live it, I feel it, I live it, I understand it. And then I make this into something that hopefully is coherent for you to understand, because coherence is the way we allow our true self to come into the world. We have to get all of these patterns into some coherent narrative that then we can align with in ourselves and move forward with. Okay, so when you wake up in the morning and you have your first thoughts, notice, are they heavy? Are they light? Are they filled with worry or are they filled with gratitude? Are these thoughts often, sometimes, I can have this really lovely dreamy space when I wake up, and then I'll be like, oh, I've got to do this, got to do that, got to do that. So I can feel light and then I feel heavy. Now, notice which ones are coming from your soul vibration, your heart space, and which ones feel like they're weight on you. It's important to know the difference because that will help you. These thoughts are like seeds. They are quietly planting themselves to create your day. And throughout your day, your feelings are also telling you what those thoughts are creating. It's important that we become very conscious of our thoughts. Not always easy because we have conscious thoughts and unconscious thoughts, but also your feelings will always be telling you, and they will help give life to these thoughts. This is how we're creating our world. So this moment that we're creating, I'm creating this video for you, but this was a seed from my past that created this timeline. And also I'm creating into my future. Everything I'm thinking, even thinking about this video, like, will it be a success? Will it work? All my feelings and thoughts about that, they will also be creating their own vibrations, their own timelines. This is not just about what we create for ourselves in our lives, but also what we're creating for those around us. Because our thoughts are rippling outwards as vibration, and they are shaping what is to come in the future. And they're also shaping what is the energy vibration, this energy signature that we leave behind in the world. And energy signatures are everywhere. If you're a spiritual empath like me, you'll be walking into energy signatures a lot, particularly if there are stagnant buildings or if there are groups of people who think the same, they'll all be creating a certain energy vibration. And I can literally walk into a room and feel the energy vibration. What has gone on before, what has been created here, what has been concentrated as a pattern, and whether that's healthy or not for me, healthy or not for those people, healthy or not, what is healthy for our world. So everything we create, even with our thoughts and intentions, will be a form that will need to be uncreated at some point in the future. Okay, just letting you know that. We'll need to uncreate it and recreate something that new. Whoever I'm doing this video for, let me know in the comments, because this is quite high level stuff. So when we create something, there will always be a need to update the form unless we can create from the highest spiritual vibration. And many of us are learning how to be that instrument, how to be a completely clear instrument for that divine energy to come through us. Okay. So when you're going about your day, let's make this really practical. When you're going about your day, just notice your thoughts. Just notice. And if you're struggling to notice it, this is where journaling comes in really well. And don't have a filter when you journal. Just obviously don't let anyone else see it, but like don't have a filter. You can just go through, like, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, I'm feeling heaviness, I'm feeling resistance, I'm feeling this, blah, 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 blah. Because your feelings are helping you see what your thoughts are. And you don't have to fix this all at once. It's good just to be in observer mode. In fact, I'm in observer mode quite a lot of the time, just so you know that. You just need to become by noticing, become aware, become aware that it's like allowing something just to play out almost. And each time you catch yourself going into a pattern, because like thoughts become patterns, then gently guide it back to yourself and think, okay, I'm just noticing I just planted a weed there, and when actually I wanted to plant a flower. And this is where we become amazing co-creators. But this didn't come all at once. It took me years because what I realized for myself, there was a huge amount of unconscious programming that I was playing out. A huge amount. Like I didn't even understand why. And I used to get really frustrated with myself. Like, why do I keep doing that? Why do I keep you know what it's like when you're trying to change a pattern? Like, why do I keep acting in that way? Why do I keep eating that way? Why do I keep doing a routine in that way? Why am I doing why? And a lot of that is because we're dealing with childhood programming and conditioning, societal conditioning, and our society wants often to fix us in certain rhythms and structures which don't necessarily feed our growth. We need to find our own rhythm and structure and play that pattern out for ourselves. You're like a beautiful piece of music. You want to go at your own rhythm. You want to play your own symphony. So each time you catch yourself doing that, just be kind, be compassionate to yourself in that process, even if you feel frustration, because there can be a lot of frustration around this process. So compassion helps you to have growth. It just eases things. When we put in like anger or frustration, we create more resistance. So you want it to become effortlessly easy in this process. And so if you find things are too much, just lie down, just relax, just look at a flower, go for a walk, do some stretching, do something, meet with a friend, have a cup of tea, make you know, just do something that feels good, feels easy, feels kind to yourself. So these are ways of navigating each day where you're looking very carefully at your inner world. And the more beautiful and peaceful you can make your inner world, you can feel it, then the more beauty and peacefulness comes in your outer reality. So everything you're creating today, in each moment, if you can do it from a place of awareness and compassion, you can also feel your emotions ease, feel calm. And it's like, I guess it's like gardening your life, like becoming super aware. And or if you're looking for a time scale, if you just did this for one day, particularly if you chose a day that was particularly heightened energetically by some cosmic influence, like a full moon or a new moon, or, there are certain points in the year, the solstices, the equinoxes, even there are certain times of the year, like New Year's Eve is another one, Christmas Eve is one of them. It's not a mistake that these times are put on our calendar for celebration, but the celebration often disrupts the quality of the energies being being used at those times. Just remember to become extra conscious. Just go, okay, I'm going to choose this rather than this. I'm going to choose a thought that is loving and kind and patient with myself. I'm going to come back to an awareness where I want to be really in love and connected to myself. So I'm just going to lower my hand. Um, so you'll find that as this happens, you will be able to create more of what you want in your reality. But it comes with the very, very gentle process of one thought at a time, like becoming very conscious of one experience at a time. And you'll notice that the outer world will keep you really busy, will try and draw you out into that distraction. And sometimes that might be fine. But while you're doing a practice of trying to really be coherent in yourself and your reality and creating something that is right for you, you might just need some extra focus and real anchoring in to yourself and just being super aware of what each feeling and thought is creating, but also where it's coming from. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. If you liked my video, then please like, subscribe. If you want to come do soul session with me, I often help starseeds and lightworkers understand what part of their soul journey is. I even do Akashic record readings, so sometimes we can look at the root of what's going on in your experiences, particularly if you're in negative cycles, or even if you're just trying to manifest a positive cycle. Because I've noticed that with my clients is that more and more everyone's so used to looking at the negative that actually the positive is trying to come in and we're blocking it. So this is all part of that work. And have a lovely day.